is up? What is up? Nigga, we back in black in the building. What is going on? Man, it's hot than a motherfucker outside, man. Niggas just complaining about how cold it was. Now it's hot as fuck. Ah, damn. Man, what is going on? Shout out to all you motherfuckers that's out there at the court plantation right now as we speak. Shout out to all the niggas that's out there that's not begging but handling business. There's a lot of begging ass niggas out there too. You know, I always get into that shit. Nigga be just begging for no reason. You get on the job, you can't even say what's up, and the nigga be like, hey man, shit, man, what you do this weekend? Don't even tell him that you watched the movie. Man, how much that cost? Shit, you know what I'm saying? I just streamed it. Oh shit, so you paying like $10, $12 a month, huh? For that service? I'm like, yeah. Well shit, man, nigga, let a nigga hold $20. Man, nigga, what? Nigga, you ain't no streaming service, nigga. Shout out to everybody out there that is at the court plantation, avoiding these finessing ass Sambo, tell them about the gun line ass niggas. There's a lot of them niggas out there too, man. So shout out to everybody out there that's trying to stay away from that shit. Shout out to everybody out there that's on their health kick right now. I got ginger and turmeric tea, and I just dropped a frozen cube of sea moss in my shit because I ain't made none in a minute. Transition to some new shit, so that's why. But shout out to Mix of Health. Shout out to blackandnoble.com. I still fuck with y'all. I will whore my sea moss, nigga. Y'all niggas got me fucked up. That shit be having me. But I gotta watch it though, cause you take it after a certain time, nigga, you'll be up all night long. But anyway, shout out to everybody out there that's, you know what I'm saying, not really worried about the bullshit and not letting shit fool you. Man, shout out to motherfucking cryptocurrency. Nigga put like $100 in there. I woke up, that shit was like $500. I'm like, god damn. Nigga, the shit was just down. I was just down like $100. So shout out to everybody on that cryptocurrency, man. Shout out to everybody that's out there investing. Get you some ETFs, exchange traded funds. So shout out to everybody that's on that stock, bond, 401k, you know, all that shit. The shit that you need. Because you don't want to be 50, 60 years old and you ain't got no type of money in the bank. And I'm not talking about fiat currency. I'm talking about money that's yours. I'm not talking about you go borrow. I'm talking about your shit. Because you know what I'm saying? You just never know, man. And you might want to use that money to start a business or go buy you a crib. Shout out to everybody out there that's aspiring to buy a crib. Don't let these motherfuckers tell you you cannot buy no crib. You can buy a crib with a 600 credit score. I think it's 620 for an FHA loan, if I'm not mistaken. But they don't tell brothers that. They don't tell black people that in general. Because that FHA loan was created for white folk. Middle-class white folk, not black people. So go do your homework, do your research. Don't let these motherfuckers tell you gotta have a whole bunch of money to buy a crib. And shout out to all my people that's watching and standing back and watching, understanding. Damn, if I go buy a house for $650,000, there's a chance that the economy might tank, and then I'm gonna lose $350,000. Now I'm paying a $3,000, $4,000 fucking mortgage a month, and then a nigga like me that's gonna move next to you is only gonna be paying $800 a month. So shout out to everybody that's on their square. You know what I'm saying? The pendulum will swing, and let me tell you something. The economy was down in 2008, and now it's up in 2021, but eventually it's going to go down again. Every currency has turned back to the debt of zero, if I'm not mistaken. I read that, I think, in one of these books. So shout out to everybody out there that's handling business. I just wanted to make that known. Shout out to everybody that's reading. Man, like I said, I'm still reading The Price for a Pound of Flesh. I haven't been getting through the books like I used to, man, because I got a lot of other shit going on. Niggas that really be around me, they know like, okay, this nigga got, man, between working at the court plantation and trying to do shit on the side and get your little business and shit straight, it gets a little difficult, man. And shout out to everybody out here in Vegas right now that's like enjoying that it's hot, but you got a mask on though. So I don't understand how niggas do that shit. But anyway, hey man, we're gonna get into a lot of shit today, but the main thing we're gonna talk about is the law of racism. The reason why I made this title The Law of Racism, because we're gonna talk about your boy Christopher Bauer. This motherfucker was in the FBI and was sexually assaulting women and raping women, Caucasian. Then he went to the regular police department. Now y'all tell me, why is it that the dominant white society can get away with some of the things that they get away with? So we're going to get into a lot of that. We're going to also talk about how it all relates to the corporate plantation. I'm always related back to that, man. And we're going to talk about not just how it relates to the corporate plantation, but how I always make that joke about your white supervisor could be doing black tar heroin in the bathroom and you working your ass off and they act like what he doing don't even happen. And you could just say, man, I'm tired. You tired, nigga, you're fired. We're writing you up. Man, but I'm tired. I've been working. I done worked 30 days straight. You ain't even give me no off day. Oh, well, you're a nigger. You can do it. You niggers built the country. That's how they are. Why your supervisor's in the bathroom talking about beam me up, Scotty. And then when he come out, he's sweating like a pedophile at a kindergarten graduation. And he act like ain't shit going on. So we're going to talk about all that shit, man. We're going to talk about how we need to invest in each other. Invest in yourself. I'm going to get into all that, man. So we're going to get into it, man. And I'm going to talk about how you can't find no type of news or footage of this white FBI agent who ended up being a state trooper. You can't find nothing on the news about him. But let a nigga blink the wrong way. They got him all over the news. Remember I told you about the black dude, the black police officer. Oh, he's armed and dangerous and he's got a quarter in his left back pocket and he wears two different types of Air Jordans, one with red laces and one with black. They can tell you all these different details and this is how we spell his name. But when it's a white police officer, they act like they don't know what's going on. So we're going to talk about that shit, man. Let's get into it right now, man. For real. Man. I just thought I would hit y'all up, man. Hey, this shit had me rolling, man. I was just reading this article. I'm like, bro, why ain't nobody talking about this shit? You know what I'm saying? No, because we so busy worried about Bill Gates. But you know what? You know why I got Bill Gates in the motherfucking, and the little mention thing? The reason why I got Bill Gates is because it's so funny how that's a big distraction too. Please. I still feel like him and his wife felt like, oh, well, we done killed enough niggas. I'm bored now. I don't want to do that anymore. Don't get it twisted if motherfuckers in that Bill Gates family and that family start coming out and telling what they really been doing. Because it doesn't matter if you tell what they really. Bill Gates' doctor came out and said his kids don't get vaccinated. He doesn't get vaccinated. And then you ain't never heard from his doctor ever again. I bet you I ain't know that shit. But you know you can't even talk about the vaccination. You start talking about that shit, they start fucking with you and censoring your channel and shit. So I don't even want to get into that, man. Y'all want to take the shit? Take the shit. I don't even argue with people that take it. And people be trying to make excuses. You don't have to make no excuses with me. Especially if you don't know me. Do what you do. I remember I was somewhere and his brother was like, man, we stop wearing these masks if everybody just go get their damn vaccination. I was just looking at this nigga like, yeah, until you end up like motherfucking Tommy Hitman Hearns or not Tommy Hitman Hearns, but Marvin Hagler. You start ending up like Hank Aaron and all that motherfuckers talking about, I'm gonna get it. Look, if that's what you want to do what you want to do. But stop trying to vaccination shame or vac shame somebody else into getting it. I'll be cool with my CMOS and my ginger, my ginger and turmeric tea. I'll just do it that way. You know what I mean? Like, why? Why would you just do it that way? Because I'm good, man. In the era I grew up in, you didn't get no kid no chicken pox vaccination. He just got it and he never got it again. That's the era I grew up in. I didn't grow up in an era where I was getting vaccinations every fucking, man, please. They didn't start that shit into the 2000s, really. The 90s, but really the 2000s. So, these are just things that you got to look at, man. I always say, because I be looking at that shit. Look at all of it. Think about what Master P said. Master P told the people at Priority Records, what you think, is you white, you right? Well, that's how they think. That's why when you question them, you are oppositional and you are contrarian to anything they say. Oh my God, you're the biggest threat. You are the biggest threat in the dominant society. And don't you ever forget it. Don't even question one thing. And what you questioning could be, man, you could be so right, but just because you question them. You know what I mean? That's why, shout out to Shawnee, man. Shawnee, I tried to check out that Exterminate the Brutes. Like I said, it's not that I disliked it. I just didn't like the jumping all over the place for me. And then I didn't like how they didn't touch on the Seminoles. I didn't like how they didn't touch on the Moors, really. They just kind of like skimmed through slavery. But they took all that time to talk about the white Jewish Holocaust. That's what I didn't like. But I didn't have big expectations about it because I feel like a lot of documentaries are like that. Just like the police department. The police department is not going to show you no law enforcement, race soldier that is out there raping women and killing women? No. What they're gonna do is show you a Chris Gardner or Dorner. They're gonna show you somebody that allegedly goes postal, but really he tried to do the right thing with the police department as y'all was out there abusing your authority, and then y'all labeled him a fucking whistleblower. So what do? So there is no good cops, because if there is, then why don't y'all start telling on the bad ones, like tell on the bad cops, like how y'all want gangs to tell on each other and how y'all want criminals to tell on each other. Nah, fuck that. I really think just from looking at this situation, I'm like, now how was this white police officer or white race soldier who worked for the FBI? You already know how I feel about the FBI. Just Google J. Edgar Hoover COINTELPRO. So he worked for the FBI and he was just raping women and doing all this other shit. I think he raped one of his coworkers with a knife, if I'm not mistaken. And then he became an Alabama state trooper. Oh Lord Jesus. So you already know what that means. The Associated Press has found that Bauer was kicked out of the FBI amid a string of sexual misconduct allegations, but he was later hired in Alabama with the apparent help of a fake bureau letter that scrubbed his record clean. Now, how could you scrub the FBI's record clean? You know why? Because you're a part of that system. And that's why white people like that could get away with it. You think a black person would have got away with that shit? The FBI has since confirmed to the AP, Associated Press, that the letter that omitted any mention of Bauer's suspension is not legitimate, while the Alabama law enforcement contends it conducted a full background check before making the hire. Yeah, right. Alea did not respond to several questions about his hiring, the AP said. Bauer remains in the Montgomery County Detention Facility on a $105,000 bond for his first-degree sodomy, sexual abuse of a child less than 12, and other sexual abuse charges. So, this is what he been doing. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about it today. Oh, yeah. Now, let's get on this shit. Now, we got R. Kelly in jail. We got Bill Cosby in jail, right? Now, whatever happened with R. Kelly with those families, they settled. So that should have been that. I didn't hear none of those families, conjuring into this bullshit up and bringing it back up to the surface. That was that ugly ass King Koopa alligator, fucking KRS-One looking bitch, rashy skin looking bitch, who you could just look at her and tell she has a hateful desire to destroy black men. Just look at this bitch. Tarana Burke, that is the most hideous looking woman I've ever seen in my life. I mean, when God made her, he was like, God damn, what the fuck happened? That's what he was thinking. And what you did is become a mammy for the dominant white society and go at R. Kelly, who was an easy target. Just like HBO went at Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson been dead 10, 11 years. They still fucking with him. You know why? Because Michael Jackson had immaculate business fucking acumen. His business acumen was so, that pH balance on his business acumen was so off the charts. Them white folks hated his ass because he was watching all the fuckery that these motherfuckers was doing. He was calling it out. So now that you have R. Kelly and Bill Cosby in prison, but you got Christopher Bauer, who was an FBI agent, who got basically fired from the FBI quietly because he was out there raping women, doing all kinds of shit, probably using his FBI privileges to get away with murder. And then when they fired him from there, he ended up becoming a state trooper. So imagine what he was doing there. So that means every case that guy was on, they should go back and re-fucking evaluate those cases. I don't care if the case didn't have nothing to do with fucking his rape charges. It doesn't matter. You're just there to protect and serve. So how you protect and serve? You raping women. But we got motherfucking Jello pudding snacks, 90-year-old Bill Cosby in prison. And they done made it where R. Kelly can't make no money. And it's like, well, everybody that made money off R. Kelly now that the Me Too movement came, now the niggas don't want to touch him. That's what I don't agree with. And then I don't agree with that they let a black person do that shit to him. And then black people was like co-signing that shit. I'd have been like, look, ugly bitch, why you doing this shit? Oh, you ain't got no man, huh? Well, you know what? That sounds like a personal problem to me. We're not gonna just let you destroy a black legend just because you don't like what the fuck is going on. Because you done looked at yourself in the mirror and you could tell that somebody beat you upside the head with a bag of nickels. That's on you. Shit, don't be mad at R. Kelly. Stop doing these motherfuckers work. Oh, what's going on, man? Tasha, don't trip. You know, stop doing the devil's work, man. That's what I say, man. Stop doing the devil's work. Stop playing the game with the devil. You know, and that's why I wanted to talk about this subject too. I was even looking at Ma'Khia Bryant, how they was talking about how the foster care industry and service has failed black people. You think that ain't nothing new? Anything to take the attention off of those race soldiers, especially the one race soldier that killed Ma'Khia Bryant. He could have killed that other girl too. Nobody even said shit. You got everybody up here taking up on, well, if it was my daughter, well, nigga, if you raising your daughter right, your daughter ain't gonna be in that position. Well, Warren, you don't know. Yeah, I do know. That I do know. It's all about socialization, social engineering, and what are you teaching your children? That's why I say no diss, but you can't just teach your kid. Jesus said it, Jesus said it. You can't just teach them that, because that ain't gonna work when you get on the court plantation. And the damn show ain't gonna work when these white supremacists going oops upside your motherfucking head. Ask Harriet Tubman if she was talking about Jesus said it. That bitch had a gun, was like, look, if y'all niggas don't hear me, get the fuck out of here. I'm dumping on y'all niggas too. I'm tired of these niggas going upside my head. That's what she's really saying. Come on, man. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because if you're not being armed with the knowledge of who you are and how much of a threat you are to society and how much you are in danger when you are in and not acclimated, but integrated into society, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Then you must not be teaching nobody around you nothing, and you probably didn't learn it either. Because a lot of these church folks, I like to pick on the church folks. I grew up in the church. They can quote every scripture in the Bible, right? But you'd be like, what about stocks and bonds? Oh, as long as I pay my tithes, man, I'm going to go to heaven. These white folks done got you convinced that if you do good on this earth, then you going to go to a paradise when you dead. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. That's some shit they told you. They told you that. Just like they told you that Dr. Sebi didn't fucking do what he was doing. But everybody secretly was going to Dr. Sebi. And then a nigga like Vlad TV going to get on there talking shit about Dr. Sebi. But you can't never talk shit about no white doctor, especially no white Jewish doctor. That's why you have to get out of that mindset of allowing the dominant society to tell you what you should be getting for reparations. And it's always some motherfucker talking about we should get free education. Fuck y'all education. Why are they gonna get free education when I could be reported to somebody that's white with no degree? So fuck you and that education. That education, to me, is like going into a store that takes money and you giving them monopoly money. They're gonna be like, what the fuck is this, man? I can't do nothing with this. We gotta wake up, man. Reason why we gotta wake up is because we so quick to vilify and demonize our own. Did y'all just hear what I said? This white FBI agent got fired for raping women and committing sexual assaults. Then he became a state trooper in Alabama and was doing the same shit. And ain't nobody talking. It ain't on CNN and nowhere. Because I'll tell you what they talk. They talk about the Colombian protests. Who gives a fuck about the Colombian protests? Tiny dinosaurs and House of the Dragon and steel prices and all this other shit in the Gates Mansion. Fuck the Gates Mansion and fuck Bill Gates too, man. He's a little weasel. You can just look at him and tell that he was such a nerd and nobody fucked with him. And he was like, I'm going to get them when I get older. And he sure did. And has been behind a mass hysteria of bullshit, giving people that bullshit back and just playing games, man. I can't stand that shit. It's like, and this ain't even your fucking race. Why don't you do that to your group of people? Don't even come over here with that shit. And niggas need to stop co-signing everything Bill Gates say. This nigga builds computers. He is not a fucking medical doctor. He's not an MA. He's not none of that. He's not a nurse. He's not a PA. He ain't none of that shit. Matter of fact, the nigga probably ain't never even worked at a doctor's office. But everybody want to listen to what he got to say about a virus. I always say this shit all the time. I'm like, look at how dumb these niggas are. Well, Bill Gates say we should wear the mask. Bill Gates can't even solve the viruses on Microsoft. The computers they putting out right now, what is it? Windows 10, 12, 50, whatever the fuck it is. He can't even solve the viruses on that shit. But you gonna listen to him about protecting yourself from a virus that's man-made, that they done made. But why he ain't getting it? If everybody else getting sick, why he ain't getting it? Man, stop. Motherfuckers better wake the fuck up. And stop talking about, I'm gonna turn it over to the Lord and he'll work it out. Oh yeah? Shit. You better stop that shit. I suggest everybody, and when I mean everybody, go get Dirty Bookman's prayer. I used to say it a lot at the beginning of my podcast. Go get Dirty Bookman's prayer. I think every black child should learn that prayer because he talks about replacing the image of the white man's God. And now the God that they serve, and we serving two different gods, because how could we be praying to the same God and that God is telling them to commit crimes? Now, if he had that much sense in the 1800s, then where the fuck are these niggas at now? But you still go to church, still go to black person's house. They got a picture of Cesare up there. And then argue you down about the shit. For real. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's very important. You got to talk about this shit, man. I'm tired of that. Look, that's what y'all give a vote for Kamami Harris and Joe 94 Crime Bill Biden. Them niggas don't fuck with y'all. That's what y'all get. That's why a lot of niggas embarrassed. They don't want to talk about this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? No, niggas too busy worried about LeBron being back and if the Lakers gonna win. I watched that clown-ass basketball game. I said, this shit is getting hard to watch. You know what I'm saying? It's just getting hard to watch. And they doing whatever they can so this nigga could be a champion for the Lakers. And fuck the Lakers. And fuck that racist-ass president of basketball operations. He was talking all that shit about Magic Johnson. And fuck Jeannie busting them too. They used Magic Johnson to get LeBron there. And then they gonna give him all types of stipulations and rules to fire Luke Walton. Yeah, I'm gonna keep talking about that. And Luke Walton is still coaching. Now you tell me, can't no black people get no coaching, head coaching jobs nowhere. They fuck up one season, they fired. But Luke Walton's lazy clown ass, who sat the bench during the Lakers championships, he was not a contributor at all, is able to coach the Sacramento Kings. Lose season after losing season. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. And this nigga want to tell me there ain't no fucking anti-black racism going on? It's only one black owner out of the whole NBA. And y'all want to tell me ain't no, come on, bro. That's like going to work. Go look at your corporate plantations that you've worked at in the past. I've worked at a lot of them. And the corporate plantations that I've worked at in the past, for the most part, y'all know how it look. It's what they call, if I'm not mistaken, in Two Nations, corporate wallpaper. If I'm not mistaken. I had to read that book twice. I'm probably going to read Black Larry White Wealth again just to keep my head abreast of what the fuck is going on. You know, you see this shit and I just be like, bro, man. Sometimes I be watching the news, I be dying laughing, man. Like, we got a shortage on chlorine. I'm like, so the pools, he's not going to be able to have pool. Okay. So y'all got a shortage on chlorine? All right. Why is that the news? Get on the news when we got a shortage of food and water, you fucking jackasses. And toilet tissue, like what happened last year. And they created that mass hysteria bullshit. Look, these are the people that put the food on the shelves. So how you gonna tell me that they're not creating these masters of panics? They created the Panic of 1907. Go look it up. J.P. Morgan. He created the Panic of 1907 so the Federal Reserve could get their hands all over the central banking system. Well, they wanted to institute a central banking system. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talks about that shit. Go look it up. You can Google that shit. One day, man, I think one day, I'm telling you, I'm going to just take a camera, take my phone or something, and I'm going to just go to these different spots because I want to show you a lot of this shit, man. I want to show you who's policing us. You got the dominant white society policing black folk. They ain't never been around black folks. Look, the dominant white society wants to police Sambos, tell them about the gun line bosses, Hayward Shepherds, Stephen from Django's. Just like the corporate plantation. When you have your own belief system and not theirs, and you don't, I would say, become a conformist around them, oh, they got a problem with you, especially if you a Reed motherfucker. If you a Reed motherfucker, they really got a problem with you. So it's like, to me, I just think it's things that we got to look at and we got to understand, man. No diss to nobody else, man, but this ain't about every other racial group. So I don't give a fuck about no Haitian hate. Man, Joe Biden signed a bill for them. the COVID-19 Asian hate bill or some shit. It's like on the first day, but niggas don't even want to talk about that shit. You talk about that shit, they act like the shit don't even exist. That's everywhere. That's why I don't like to talk about racial matters with other racial groups, because what you find yourself doing is explaining what racism is in the 450 years of slavery to black folk, what it has done to black folk, explaining it to another racial group that can give two fucks about it. They just want to be entertained. That's why I don't explain it to them. Look, if they really want to know about slavery, they really want to know about black people's plight in the United States of America Incorporated, just suggest books. If they're serious, they'll read them. It doesn't matter how long it takes them to read. Eventually, they'll read them. Because if they really want to know about what's going on, they're going to become inquisitive. They're going to be curious. They're going to start analyzing things different. I'm talking about any other racial group. If they don't care, they just want to smoke up your ass, you're going to know, because they ain't going to never read no book. They ain't going to never read. I'm talking about other racial groups. I'm not talking about black folk. Black folk need to read books just to keep them abreast. But black folk know what the fuck racism is. That's why don't let no nigga try to argue down and give you a lecture about racism. That's why I like Tim Wise and all that. Because they want to tell us what racism is. We already know what it is, nigga. What are you planning on helping us do to replace that system and establish a system of justice? No, what you was doing was shitting on Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, because what she was doing was pointing out the fuckery from a psychiatrist perspective and psychologist perspective. And you didn't like that shit, so you called her shit pseudoscience bullshit. Go on YouTube, you can look at it. And then Jane Elliott, I done said this 1,000 times. Jane Elliott, yeah, she cool with niggas until niggas start talking about red race. This bitch start talking about the Native Americans, the so-called Native Americans, who always seem to get their casinos and reparations, all this other shit. And then when we start talking about our shit, these niggas look at us like we crazy. That's why I think it's very imperative that you read, gain the knowledge, and do what you need to do to survive. Stay in your lane, bro. It's a lot of motherfuckers that don't stay in their lane. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. A lot of brothers that don't stay in their lane. Too many people worried about everybody else. Go to your corporate plantation, do your damn job, get your paycheck, and get the fuck on. Why the fuck is you sitting up here worried about the next motherfucker? And stop trying to be in alignment with somebody else's template, especially when they're another racial group. You can't do what they do. You're not going to accomplish what they accomplish. So you need to be okay with that. You know what you can do? Read and know thyself and understand where you come from and know what you have contributed to this world. Know that you are the father of these dominant white society children that you're dealing with. That's what you need to know, knowing that your melanin is where it is. You know, and stop thinking that, oh, look, let me tell you something. All you got to do, if you're in Las Vegas, Nevada, or anywhere that's hot, go stand in the sun in the summertime. Don't put no goddamn sunblock on or nothing. I think that shit fucks with your skin anyway. Just go stand in the sun. And you go stand in the sun and see how many other dominant society people or other racial groups are standing in that sun with you. Yeah, you're going to get hot. You're going to sweat, but it's going to activate that melanin. It's going to activate. That's the best vitamin D you can get. Because you can't get vitamin D from no motherfucking cows. Because if that's the case, do you see dogs drinking milk from cats? Do you see cats drinking milk from dogs? Do you see tigers drinking milk from elephants? No. So why the fuck? Who came up with this milk does a body good? I remember a woman trying to argue me down about that shit. I was like, no, it's not. That's why the majority of the United States of America Incorporated is lactose intolerant, because that milk be fucking with niggas. Because that's not meant for black folk to drink. Dairy, period. And it's hard to get out of eating cheese, man, because I'm a lover of cheese. And pizza, oh, man, that's my favorite. But that's why I take my Tahuti, my Ara herbs. I take my sea moss. I take my activated charcoal. You got to get that shit, man, because the shit that you putting in your body is fucking you up. So if you going to fuck yourself up, you better have a counter for that shit. Eat the shit first, then take the shit to counter. Don't take the shit first, then eat fucked up. Eat fucked up and then try to detox your body. Man, for real. And stop trying to prove to people that you are worthy of being in their presence. No, what they should be doing is proving to you that they're worthy to be in your presence, not the other way around. But hey, man, like I said, man, I appreciate everybody listening, subscribing. Hey, man, I got to get up out of here. I got shit to do, man. Hey, I appreciate everybody listening, man. Hey, shout out to everybody out there that's handling business. I appreciate it. Hey, man, if you out there telling on niggas and talking about you don't see no color, First thing I'm gonna say is, you a Sambo coon telling about the gunline balls. Guilty, nigga. Hey, and go look up Christopher Bauer, man. That's some real shit. Go look him up. You can't find him nowhere. They don't even have no articles. I had to search far and wide. It just came, somebody I think put it on Twitter, and it came across my news feed, and then they kind of erased it. You know what I'm saying? So go look that shit up. Before I get off this motherfucker, go look up Christopher Bauer, Alabama State Trooper. If y'all don't do nothing else, go look him up. And then on Saturday, when me and Nick get on, shout out to Nick, bring that shit up again, because I want to talk about that shit with Nick. Because I want to hear what Nick has to say. Because I know he going to probably go in. But all right, man, I'll holler at y'all on Saturday, man. I'm out. Guilty, nigga. Peace.